Hey kids, now we're cooking.
Welcome to our fifth and final episode this week of Farmers Market Week on Now We're Cooking. This is a cooking show for all ages. My name is Aunt Annie.
I'm Grandma Jane.
And it's been our pleasure this week once again to present you with some really good farmers market dishes. Today our final episode is going to be something that is really fresh salsa versus some that we might do later that's with a food processor or maybe canned from things from the beautiful luscious produce we had this summer. A lot of people do that this time of year with the luscious stuff. They can stuff for in the winter when we don't have it fresh. But today we're going to make fresh salsa, which is also called pico de gallo. Now again, it looks like pico de gallo, but they pronounce it pico de gallo, okay? And we're going to start with fresh Roma tomatoes, or in our case, because I'm not sure if they're Roma, but we're going to use farmers market ones from around here. Jane's going to take the lead here, and she's going to dice them very fine. Now what you can do if you like is you can cut the tomato in half or in quarters. I would suggest quarters, and you can gut it. In other words, you can take a spoon and take out all of the seeds. So Jane, if you want to even give me a quarter, if you want to give me a wedge or a quarter, and I'll show the kids what I mean, and then you can dice it up any way you like. You can take a spoon, kids, and you can gut out those seeds and that watery stuff, okay? Then you're left with just that tough, meaty tomato. Do you have to do that? No. Some people leave the seeds right in there. So you don't have to, but you can take a spoon and gut out that more kind of a jelly texture with the seeds if you like. But we're going to go ahead and leave it in for most of this, but we wanted to tell you that is an option. Okay? So Jane's going to cut that up.
And we're leaving the skin on too.
Now if you don't have a nice knife like Jane, you should use a serrated knife like we use for a bread knife, okay? Because that keeps the skin intact, and it's easier than to cut it, so it doesn't like make the skin go down in the tomato. You see what I mean? It's not too hard on the tomato. It will stay intact because that serration cuts it just like bread, okay? I think that one has to have
inside cleaned out. Cuts out pretty good.
Yeah, but this serrated knife, that is just slick. It doesn't make the tomato fall apart because of the pressure of your knife. They should be diced like little teeny squares.
Always want everything big, like my cookies and stuff.
Well, I can certainly understand that. Now, what do you use pico de gallo for, you ask? You see it in a lot of Mexican restaurants. That on the side it says it comes with pico de gallo. That's essentially fresh salsa. But you can use it for chips and nachos. You can use it for tacos. You can use it for wraps. You can put this fresh salsa in nice, like fajita wraps. I know whenever I order fajitas, there's always pico de gallo on the side.
You can mix it in with like a cheese dip.
Cheese dip?
Instead of buying and using like a rotel.
Yes, exactly. For some of you that don't know what rotel is, Megan, tell them.
It's just canned diced tomatoes and chilies that you can mix in with like Velveeta to make a cheese dip or queso dip.
Okay, so again, you could use, if you have some pico de gallo made, you can mix that in with your cheese to make a dip, to spice it up and give it some color.
That's the best dip too. So easy. I haven't had that for a while. It sounds good.
I can get all through the skin on that one.
And I learned too, I should not scrape my blade, like to pick up stuff. I should
It'll
turn
dull
it,
it.
turn it the other way. Yeah.
Okay, say that again so the kids know.
When you're picking up, like usually a bench scraper or something, you can use too. But if you're picking it up with your big knife that you've cut with, don't pick it up with the blade side. Flip it over and use the
like this.
dull side. Yeah.
Okay.
Because scraping along that wood dulls it. Dulls the blade.
Okay, I see some pieces too that probably need to be cut up a little bit more. Now, while we're continuing to do that, I'm going to go ahead and put in some red onion. And again, you're going to want this to be very small pieces as well. Everything in pico de gallo should be diced.
Small. Really
very small. I'm going to need to take those glasses off.
It's time consuming. It takes you a little while, but it's therapeutic, right?
That's right, and I'm not using the right knife for that. I need to switch knives. Still had my serrated one in my hand. While Jane is doing red, I'm going to do
some white
or yellow.
You guys have plans for the weekend?
Not really, other than Sam and Owen coming over.
Megan's nieces or nephews are coming over to stay overnight Saturday night, and
how fun!
she's gonna have her hands full.
That's part of the well. That's what Tristan said. As soon as we walked in the door, he said, "Megan, can I come with you?" I said, "To film?" And he said, "No, I want to come with you to your house." And I was like, "Well, yeah, you can, buddy." And Mom said, "He thinks that you're gonna need an extra hand with the boys."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, okay."
He knows it's going to be fun. He wants to do that.
Uh-huh.
And it will help if he's there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. But he had to make it sound like he didn't just want to come for fun. You might need help.
Well, that was sweet of him. I can't believe my eyes aren't watering. Of course, these onions were cold, weren't they? That helps.
Okay, kids. All right, kids. Now, my niece, much to her dismay, most pico de gallo recipes, kids, have jalapenos. If you do get jalapenos and you want it that hot, which most people do, you're going to want to put gloves on to cut it because it is hot. It might bother your hands.
Or any hot pepper.
Or any other hot pepper.
My friend burned her fingers.
There are ones hotter than that. A lot hotter than
I
jalapenos.
think jalapeno's like the lowest on the totem pole.
I think so
Really?
too.
Mhm.
There are some really almost dangerously hot.
Like Carolina Reapers,
Oh, yeah.
Habanero, all those.
There are some really, really hot ones out there that are.
Can you eat them that hot? Eat them
Yeah.
that hot? Really?
Mhm.
Oh.
Now, some people just like the hotter the better. Now, I am such a wimp that I'm not going to use jalapeno, but I love pico de gallo. So I'm going to wimp out and use green pepper because I do want the color of green in there. But I would not enjoy, I'll just say it, I would not enjoy anything that hot.
Yeah. I can't even eat the mild salsa when I go to like Phoenix or some of those
Oh,
places.
really?
Yeah.
Even if I buy like jarred salsa in the store, I always get hot or mild, but
And
usually
does
hot.
your mouth burn or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like the flavor, and Josh likes the flavor of spicy
Yeah.
food too.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh.
and like
Where's
he'll
Yankees?
always get super hot chicken wings if he eats
Oh,
them.
really?
I'm
Oh,
not so
gosh,
much
I'd just
into
be
that.
crying and miserable.
I like honey barbecue for that, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
Josh loves like spicy wings. We always get the extra spicy flaming hot Cheetos and all those.
Oh, my aching back.
I can't do it. How about hot tamales?
Yeah, I like those. Mhm.
Like, I don't want the flaming hot or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I like hot tamales. Sally always put them in popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Or gum.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can see how colorful this is getting. Next, we're going to put in some garlic. Now kids, I don't have any fresh garlic here, but there's something out there that's really kind of a lifesaver I wanted to make you aware of. They've got jarred garlic out there now, that especially if your parents have trouble with you cutting at this point, garlic, if you had a clove of it, you'd punch it down with a knife and then you cut it up real fine. Well, that's so little you could really cut your fingers. Now, if you want to do that, that's great. You just, again, a clove isn't the whole big garlic bulb. A clove is just one section of it, okay? And after you've pounded it down and take a section out of it and the skin off, then you would just chop it up in little fine pieces. But there's something out there that's just wonderful. There's chopped garlic out there already done for you. So I'm going to take...
There's roasted minced garlic too.
Yes, there are different kinds. So you're going to want to... You're going to want to put in there what you want. But I love garlic.
And it's good for you too.
It's really good for you.
the
So I'm going to put some garlic in there. Once you open, though, your garlic, you're going to want to refrigerate it.
Yeah.
Once you've opened it. And I think I need to take a little plastic off of that. So we've got diced tomatoes, as small diced little squares as you can get. We've got red and yellow onion, or white if you want in there. We cheated and put green pepper in instead of hot jalapenos because I'm a wimp, like I said. Now we have something called cilantro. It's usually right next to the parsley in your grocer's produce aisle, or if you grow it fresh. This is what's going to make it smell like a real Mexican food to you. It's got a real distinct odor. Now some people think it tastes like soap. My niece can't stand cilantro.
It's different. It's different.
But I really like it in things like this. And it belongs
It's a Mexican.
It's a recipe in lots of things. But what you do then, I've already washed it. What you do then is kind of roll it up. If you can get it rolled up. And you're going to chop it in small pieces, but rough but small. I just think it has to have it, or it really doesn't. If you don't like cilantro, and you've already determined that, some things you can substitute are like curly parsley. If you want that green rough stuff in there, but you really like the flavor of parsley. My parsley went bad, or I'd put parsley in it, maybe half and half, because I don't need a lot of cilantro. But yeah, maybe just half and half. Or again, if you don't like cilantro, just use curly parsley. As I've said before, I just love parsley. You could use some of each. That's probably what I'd do if I still had it. Maybe just less cilantro and a little bit more
And for
parsley.
people that don't like it, leave it out, you know, or put parsley in instead. The little lime's hiding under there.
He is hiding. Now after cilantro, the only thing really left Now Jane, am I doing that wrong?
No, it looks fine.
With the blade?
Oh, yeah.
Now how should I do that?
You should flip it to the dull side.
Okay.
And then lift
Very
it up.
good.
Or use your bench scraper, wherever that is. I don't know where that here it is. If you need it anymore.
Okay, again, I'm going to use that dull side,
Yeah.
like Jane said, and put the blade out.
Yeah.
Take it off of there.
Oh, just
Okay, now, would you give that a stir, please,
Sure.
Jane?
It's looking good.
And now the only thing left is lime. So we're going to need a lime for this. And what you're going to want to do is, Jane, show them how you did it.
Okay.
We're going to roll it around.
Press down and roll on it. Gets the juices flowing inside before you cut it.
Very good. And then
Feel it too.
I'm going to cut it in half. Take a little sticker off it if
Yeah.
I can get it off.
With those beautiful nails, you should be able to.
With the nails I just had lovely down here. See, your kids are wanting me to get my act together.
A serrated knife would work good for that one too.
Let's use Jane's knife. So serrated better on the lime too. Oh, that,
Mhm.
see, my cutlery
Just
sets
dull.
are just junk.
I'll bring my sharpener over and we'll sharpen them up. Makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
I hate a
Okay, I'm gonna
dull
poke
Yeah.
this with the fork a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna squeeze that lime in there.
Wow, that smells good.
Squeeze that lime. Jane, I'm gonna let you squeeze the other,
Okay.
just so you can.
I don't even see any seeds. Sometimes they say squeeze it this way
Mhm.
so seeds can. I don't even see any seeds.
Hmm.
You think they'd have to have seeds somewhere?
No, not
No?
typically. So which way were you gonna squeeze it?
This way, so the juice still comes out, but the seeds don't
Ah,
fall.
so you could go like that if
Yeah.
you thought there were seeds.
Yeah.
Or you can hold your hand under it. That's good.
Sure, we catch
It's
them.
like a strainer.
Right, yeah. Okay. Excuse me.
You betcha.
Then are you gonna serve this with some chips or crackers, or what are you thinking?
Well, I would serve it with chips.
Like a tortilla chip?
Yes. Now look at kids, we always talk about colors and textures. And if you can smell these aromas, I tell you what.
Yeah, really.
And we've put some garlic. Okay, so we've got diced tomatoes. We're a little bigger chunks here. We like to use our teeth.
Yeah.
We've got yellow and red onion. Green pepper is a substitute for jalapenos, which if you do use them, use gloves to cut them so you don't get injured or hurt by the heat. Take the seeds out and cut them up and put them in here. We've also then cut up roughly some cilantro, which some people again leave out and put in curly parsley. And then we've also put in the juice of 1 full lime. Janie rolled it around to get the juices flowing. And then we cut it in half and each of us squeeze the dickens out of it. You can poke it a little bit with a fork to...
Should I give a close-up of it?
Absolutely.
If it just could have smell-o-vision.
It's crazy.
It does smell good.
Too bad they can't smell it at home.
Yeah.
Like to give it a taste?
Yes, thank you.
Let's see. Need anything?
Very good.
Does it need anything?
Nope. And it's all natural juices. Not any salt or anything like that is needed, is it?
Yum.
Very good.
I think though, for me, I put a little more garlic in here.
And what else could they put in there, Megan? Do you think? Well, I just said black olives.
Black olives.
Avocado.
Corn. Avocado. Yeah.
Corn, yeah.
I always think of corn as
You
being
could
more in a
do-
non-fresh salsa.
Green and yellow tomato to add more colors.
I would have some friends that would make up this stuff, take it on the road with them.
Mhm.
It's healthy, yeah. And it can, you don't have to worry about meat or anything,
Yeah.
refrigerate it, you know.
Now this isn't gonna last forever. You're gonna wanna eat it in a few days because the tomatoes will break down and,
Yeah. Peppers sometimes.
and you don't want that stuff getting mushy and gross. Okay, you wanna try one more and see if the extra,
Yeah. You want to try one, Megan?
I will off the camera.
When's Megan gonna be on there?
I don't know.
You'll never know.
Good. Taste that lime, really good.
Extra garlic made a difference. It's better.
That's me.
I love garlic too.
Okay, now you could salt and pepper this. I don't even think it needs it. If you like onion, put more in. If you like more of something, put more in. If you like jalapenos, put it in. Maybe you want to put something a little hotter in there too. Just if you do, be careful cutting it. That's all we point out to you, okay? So that'll conclude our final episode of Farmers Market Week. What would you say, Jane, in signing off?
Kids, stay safe out there. There's always things coming at you. It can be dangerous and, you know, lots of ways. And we think of you all the time and love you. Write into us if you have any problems, and we'll try to help you.
You betcha. Keep enjoying the summer. Time is it's starting to come to a close now. We're in August. Before you know it, we'll be back to school. It'll be fall, and we'll be into the fall and winter recipes before you can hardly blink an eye.
Wow.
So get out there, enjoy that weather when you can. Be kind to one another, and especially be kind to yourself, okay? So we hope to see you next time on Now We're Cooking!